In this demonstration, we'll take a look at how to configure dynamic routing policies within the Junos OS. Now, the whole purpose of these dynamic routing policies, or the dynamic database, is that it's much quicker to commit to the dynamic database than it is to the regular configuration of the Juniper device. And the reason being is that with the regular configuration, the Juniper device goes through a large verification process, which does take time. So you can use the dynamic database if you wanted to speed things up. So to use the dynamic database from operational mode, instead of typing the regular configure command, which just takes me into the standard configuration of the Juniper device. Let me just try that. So I do configure, and you'll notice here that I am in the configuration mode. So I've got the edit prompt here and with the pound symbol. So I'm in standard configuration of the device. Now, what I want to do, if I want to go into the dynamic database, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the configure command with the word dynamic. And you'll notice that my prompt has changed a little bit. You can see here that it does show that we are in edit mode, but of the dynamic database. Now at this point, you can go and use a lot of the regular commands that you would use when configuring a Juniper device. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to go and create a dynamic routing policy. So I'm going to use the edit command. I'm going to use policy options, policy statement, and I'm going to create a policy called dynamic routing policy. So the idea is what I can do is I can create my objects here and then reference those objects from the standard configuration. Now I'm just going to create a simple rule here that's going to have one term in it. So I'm going to go and set term OSPF test. And I'm going to say if it's from protocol OSPF, and then I'll do set term OSPF test, then go and accept the traffic. Perfect. So I hit exit, and the exit. So I do want to do a commit here, exit. So now I've gone and I've created that policy element within inside that dynamic database, and then I could call upon that element with my regular export command if I wanted to. So when you go into the standard configuration to configure an export policy, now you can call upon your dynamic routing policy that you created within inside the dynamic database. So for instance, when you use the set protocols OSPF export, we could now use that dynamic routing policy that I've created. So in this demonstration, you saw how to create a dynamic routing policy.